Some breaking news for you now. If you use TikTok, you're going to want to listen up. TikTok agreed to settle a lawsuit alleging that social media companies use addicting tech to hook your children. Jury selection begins today in the first of several trials. So a lot to break apart here. CBS News correspondent Chanel called live in this newsroom on at least one part settling.
That's right. Actually, two parts of this lawsuit have now been settled. This is a case brought forward by someone who was a teenager when she first brought the case. In this legal argument, she's been identified as KGM, and she is saying, Reed, that she became addicted to social media apps and that addiction ultimately led to some mental health issues that she says she suffered because of the way that these apps are created and constructed. So the lawsuit was brought against Meta, TikTok, Snap, and YouTube. Now, I talked to you about this last week. Snap ended up settling with KGM, and then just moments before I joined you on air about half an hour ago, we found out that TikTok also today, on the same day this trial was set to begin, also settled with KGM. So the trial will move forward. We're expecting it to last somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks. Again, jury selection will begin any time now, and we're expecting to hear from some pretty high-profile names in this story, including, of course, Mark Zuckerberg, Meta executive. And the reason we're paying such close attention to this trial, Reed, is because it could really set the precedent for what happens next, because there's so many of these social media addiction lawsuits that we've been following lately. This one is just the first one to actually go to trial. A lot of people that we've been hearing from are comparing the argument here to what we saw happen with big tobacco decades ago. And the actual argument here is worth discussing, because what they're saying here is that these apps use things like algorithms, notifications, features like what we call doom scrolling, infinite scrolling, to actually create that addiction for millions of young Americans. And a lot of these lawsuits are saying that actual addiction created other problems, including depression, anxiety, eating disorders, in some cases body image issues, and in severe cases also included self-harm like suicide. So the playbook for these cases, very interesting. We'll have to see how that actually plays out, because what they're arguing here, Reed, essentially is that just like cigarette companies did this decades and decades ago, they're saying social media companies like TikTok, YouTube, Meta are basically using their product, which are these social media apps, to create addiction that is, in a sense, causing harm to young Americans.
Chanel Call, fascinating developments there. Thank you so much.